Oh, woo, friends and enemies. Hello. Alright, picking up where we left off last night. We're probably not going to make it all the way through Morichika Haruki's route. And we won't even be able to touch on Suoketo's route tonight, unfortunately. I'm extremely tired. And I need the rest, so I'm well rested for work. So, with no further ado, I chose to observe Morichika Haruki. Soon after I began looking for him, someone called me from behind. Hey there, Natsumi. Morichika Haruki, what do you want? Come with me, you're not a student, are you? Of course not. I was feeling nervous, but went with him anyway. Couldn't ignore a chance to get on good terms with them again. It's such a pain, you know? I mean, you got any idea what it's like to hang out with a bunch of kids who couldn't recognize a good time if it bit them in the ass? I think I know what you mean. You feel the same, don't you? I mean, you gotta watch over some brats because of something Natsumi said before he croaked. Not at all, they're good kids. I'm happy to be in their company. I was being honest there. Getting to be with them again was already blessing enough. Morichika Haruki opened his eyes wide and looked away and down his glass. Let's gamble. I gave him a surprised look. Gamble? That's... I don't mean betting money. I just want to decide which one of us pays for tonight. See the darts over there? He pointed at a row of dartboards with various people playing on them. This was the so-called darts bar. But I've never played darts before. I'll look back. Want to go? Or not? His provocative yet strangely alluring tone made it difficult to refuse him. Huh. Not to bet for the first time, right? Deal's a deal, though. Damn it, let me try again. Just give me one more chance. Hey, you agreed to this fair and square, so get that money ready. Ugh. I was actually doing pretty good with just a bit of practice. For a moment, I genuinely believed that I had talent. As I kept going, I went further and further away from the middle. Morichika Haruki, however, slowly but surely gathered his points. I'd started out in the lead, but by the 8th round, he created a great divide between us. In fact, he was actually holding back, making me feel even worse. Do you play darts often? Occasionally, though mostly just to kill time. I'm dead broke, you know. Even now, I've only got 100 yen to my name. He tapped the pockets of his jeans. What he said filled me with shock. What would have happened if I'd won? I only pick fights I can win. He chuckled. Somewhat reluctant, I held up my end of the bargain and paid our tab. There we go. We'll have to play a rematch someday. No way, dude, you got the touch. Morichika left to see if the door's bell rang as he stepped outside. Left behind, I chuckled to myself, thinking about how much he resembled a stray cat. So where do you live? I hastily caught up with Morichika. The neural lights of the city suited him well. Nowhere, really. I just spend the night where I can. My eyes widened in shock. You mean you're staying with various women, as in many of them? What's the matter to you? I grabbed him by the shoulders and shook him. You can't do that, it's immoral. You need to stop immediately. Clearly upset by my words, he pushed my hand away with a displeased look on his face. Okay, here's a little something you should know about me. I hate it when people tell me what to do. He then tried to disappear into the night, but I grabbed his hand again. Huh? What? Come to my place, then. If the only alternative is living with all sorts of different women, I think it'd be way more ethical for you to just stay over at my place. What the hell? Wait, the hell you on about? I wouldn't mind. Well, I sure as shit would. I ain't gonna let some guy take care of me. As if letting girls do that is any better. Well, ain't you witty? He made a scummy grin, and so I tightened my grip. You don't even have a home. You're not wrong, I guess. This pisses me off. Confirming that he had understood my point, I smiled and let him know where I lived. My home was a simple city apartment. Spectators became conscious in this world as members of the nameless masses. When that happened, we were given backgrounds that suited us. For example, I was a 23-year-old stable member of society, It had everything you'd expect someone like that to have. However, that was just a background. My home was relatively unfurnished and felt like nobody lived there. It didn't even have curtains. It's not much, I know. Morichika Haruki looked around then boredly took off his coat and handed it to me. There was too little to look at. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks to that offer. Shield up. And shield down. Give me a second. The one person actually viewing this channel right now, thank you. I am not going to ever try to pay for more followers or pay people to subscribe to me once that option is available. The shield will remain up. I couldn't shut it down. So, sorry about that. There was too little to look at. White walls with white flooring, a white bed, and a brown sofa, and nothing else. The inorganic fluorescent light reflected our awkward frames in the dark window. Alright, give me your number. Huh? Remember when you forgot to come to the meeting? I need it just in case. Shh. Morichika Haruki clicked his tongue but gave me his phone number regardless. Made it a policy not to answer when a guy's calling, so don't actually use it. Oh, okay. Wasn't a number I couldn't use basically the same as a number I didn't have? Guess I'll go to sleep then. You can just use the bed. I like this better. He then just rolled up and got comfortable. Okay, good night. Turned off the light, but Morichika Haruki continued doing something on his phone for a while. It felt as though he didn't want me to see his sleeping face. As if to prove just that, Morichika Haruki disappeared with the first light. He was a man who did whatever he wanted. He hated staying in the same places and interacting with the same people. One day, he would smile as if we were close, only to disappear the next morning. He was much like the brand of cigarettes he smoked. He would attract you with a fragrance, then vanish when the wind blew. Ugh. Eat your breakfast. Did you come here just to say that? His eyes told me to just leave if that was the case. It shook me a bit, giving him time to walk away. I mean, didn't we go to Mass together? He was such a reliable young man back then. These days, though, he was a drain on society who jumped from woman to woman. We were also roughly the same age now. Life's full of mysteries, I guess. I chuckled at the irony of it all. Good morning, Morichika Haruki. The hell you following me for, dude? Well, for one, I have no friends. I'm impressed you can say that so proudly. So with that in mind, I was thinking of getting closer to you. He stuck out his palm in front of my eyes. Ah! And then threw a hand chop at me. Go bother those 3 high school students then. You'll have better time with your fellow brats. Took out a cigarette and a lighter and began to smoke. I'm worried about you. Hey, give that back. This. You're already coughing way too often. You don't have to force yourself to smoke. Give that back. The very air around us changed. Well, alright, you enjoy your tobacco. I won't say anything about it anymore. The moment I said that, he dashed towards the distant parking lot. Mori! Quickly put on his helmet, sat on the bike, and drove off somewhere. Left by myself, I simply stood there and gazed at him, after him in utter shock. He ran away. Quickly snapped out of it, though. He'd come back here tomorrow, I was sure of it. He had nothing better to do anyway. Huh? He's still not here. The next day came, so did this evening. Wait, could it be that... As the light of the morning sun made me squint, I had no choice but to accept that he'd been avoiding me. Alright, I still have the number he gave me. Hello, Marachika. Hello, I'm sorry, sir, but we only open at 11. Huh? Could you call us back later? Who is this? Oh, we're Share the pizza place. The phone call just stood in place. Marachika Haruki? Marachika Haruki had always lived by his own rules. The only lead I had to find him was the fact he often picked up women to leech from. If I interacted with the various ladies there myself, I could maybe run into those who met Marachika Haruki. Shinjuku, the metropolis of Tokyo. I made myself comfortable and waited at a place near the border of the residential areas and the neon-covered city. Are you okay? There was one. Going by her voice, she was used to talking to people. She probably worked in customer service. I slowly raised my head and opened my eyes. Our eyes met. I'm sorry, I happened to fall asleep here. That's okay. Can you stand? Doesn't look like it. I'm feeling a bit weak. Could you lend me a hand? I held onto her hand and faked having trouble getting up. Thank you. There we go. Want to come over to my place? Accepted her offer with a smile. Here, have some water. Thank you very much. Had a quick look around the place. It was a self-locking apartment with one room. All in all, fairly standard for a young lady living in the big city. There were tons of plush toys. She'd probably wanted a crane game. Now that I see you in good lighting, I'm glad that you seem better than I thought. The woman still holding a cigarette in one hand made a smile that somehow put me at ease. Promptly explained the situation to her. Haruki, you know him? Bingo. The lady who picked me up, Ayaka, reacted so strongly that the ash fell off the tip of her cigarette. Then tell him I want my money back. I've already wasted enough time trying to constantly remind him. Do you have him in your contacts? Of course I do. He calls me at least once every month. He always calls right when I'm about to delete his number. Leeches have some scary senses. She was more passionate about my investigation than I had expected. Her grudge against Haruki must have piled up into quite a powerful force. Anyway, I now had his actual number, but, could you do me a favor? I whispered something into her ear, and immediately made her lips curl into a grin. No problem. I was relieved to see how eager and reliable she seemed. Good night, then. Huh? You're going to sleep? Yes. Oh. I see. Good night. That night I slept using my trench coat as a makeshift blanket. I know this isn't much, but the next morning I reached into my wallet and took out a few bills as thanks. But you really didn't have to. I actually thought you were broke, so I really wasn't expecting this. When she kept on mumbling, I tilted my head in confusion and offered her the money again. Ayaka, I'm counting on you today. Sure, leave it to me. I still can't believe Haruki actually knows someone sensible. Gotcha. Why are you here, and where's the chick I'm supposed to meet? Ayaka has a shift today. There was confusion in his face. He had no idea why I knew Ayaka's name. But then Marachika Haruki quickly put two and two together. You little... I responded with a smile. I had Ayaka call Marachika Haruki this noon. Yeah? Haruki... Ayako, what's up? I wanted to hear your voice again. How are you? Get to the point. There's no fooling you, I see. Actually, I had a fight with my boyfriend the other day and we broke up, so... Say no more, you free tonight? And that's how it went. Hand on head, he sighed deeply. So where have you been these past few days? Nowhere. I was gonna go see Ayaka. You figure out the rest, he added. We then walked around the nighttime streets, barely exchanging any words. I was basically following after him as he tried to run away, though. The way he walked was rather strange. It was as though he was mixing with the crowd to become part of it. With him blending in so well, I had to be careful not to lose him. At first I thought he was just used to this city. Nighttime Shinjuku was like his backyard. And these waves of people meant nothing because he trusted this place. However, as I followed him, I realized that wasn't the case. It was the other way around. He trusted no one and nothing. Everyone else was the same in that regard. They prided themselves in being strangers and avoided contact. There was a dense mist cast over the night. Even still, people walked around as if seeking more density. We were welcomed by an air filled with exhaust fumes. It was close enough to touch him, and yet he continued wandering in complete and utter solitude. For a brief moment, Morishika Haruki turned my way. His refined amethyst eyes bore into me for less than a heartbeat. However, their beauty was soon hidden from view the moment he looked away. I could somehow understand how he felt. At their core, people were all essentially alone. We were surrounded by all this air, and yet we gasped for more. Morishika Haruki stopped for a moment to light a cigarette. I watched him do it but said nothing. A trail of white smoke billowed up into the night, overlooking the tainted metropolis. Sorry. Our dyslexia is starting to act up. As I said, we're probably not going to make it all the way through Morishika Haruki's route tonight. In this town, the stars just didn't have the same shine as they did elsewhere. Hey, what do you do? What do you want to do with me? Smoke danced within the darkness. Those words and the fire behind them made Mamiya come to my mind. I didn't want him to die. I wanted him to find happiness. Okay, I'm gonna save here. I want you to find happiness. Or I just want to know you. We've saved, picking completely at random. I just want to know you. Because of Natsume? It's part of the reason, yeah, but I also feel like I understand your loneliness. Morishika Haruki fell silent. The air coming from a nearby vent was quite unpleasant. There's no way you can. Loneliness ain't something others can just understand. The words he so bitterly spat at me. Maybe so. Made me close my eyes in agreement. Alright, let's drink. Well, it's on me. From shoulder to shoulder, we stumbled into a local bar. Morishika Haruki made a middle-aged scowl. Morishika Haruki. Check this out. Hell, God. June Miller. What are you, 10? I haven't seen that in forever. Our walking was unsteady. We laughed, we cried, we drank ourselves under the table. I hadn't had this much booze in, well, ever. This adult body, though, it thankfully didn't cause much of an issue. Still drunk, we were walking around Tokyo. We were at... Ow. Hey, get up. Lend me a hand. Yeah, you little... We pushed each other around and kept falling and getting bruised, but we laughed it off regardless. Ow. My wrist was covered in bruises. Through the place where it was cut, I could see even deeper in. I wouldn't often get wounds like this as an adult. Every last piece of gravel stuck to the wound like it was a precious jewel in my eyes. I ended up carefully picking off each of them one by one. Cigarettes, huh? You always smoke them. Want one? Here you go. Whoa, you never smoked before? This is awful. Why'd you do this to yourself? Not sure. It's a habit. I don't get why you'd want to smoke. You're only shortening your own lifespan. Who cares? I'm about to kick the bucket anyway. What? He said I'm about to die, so who gives a shit if I smoke on that? Before I realized it, I punched him. My fist sank into his left cheek. I felt the scrawny skin on my knuckles. A loud sound followed, and he rolled into the nearby back alley. Yupisa. Morishika Haruki got back to his feet and grabbed me by the collar. He then dragged me and punched me in the right cheek. Good. Silver ring made a metallic sound. I felt the pain in my teeth. You little... You think you're something just because we chilled, huh? I grabbed him and pushed him against the cold asphalt. We rolled around on the ground trying to constantly get the upper hand on each other. Shut up, you're the one who's wrong. Don't fucking order me around. I'm not gonna stop punching you until you admit that you're wrong. Fine, bring it on, asshole. Exactly how much time had passed since then? We were both exhausted to the point where our punches had long since lost all their power. Why can't you understand? Oh, if I know, how the fuck am I supposed to tell what's even going on in your head? You're a pain in the ass, so stop forcing your ideas on me. I ain't your kid, I'm nothing to you. I don't think about you that way. Yeah, right. Lying on the ground, we looked up at the small patch of sky peeking out from between the buildings. The heavy, moist clouds seemed to be almost scolding us from above. It certainly made me feel a little apologetic. We had completely sobered up. What must I do to make you care for yourself? I don't want this. I don't want to see things that I hold dear spiral down into self-destruction. But I certainly don't want them to whittle away and disappear. Aren't you being a little selfish there? It's my body, you know? Let me do with it what I want, will ya? But you continue smoking even though you're sick. Do you really enjoy living with such negligence? Yeah, I do. Hell, I can no longer live any other way. I gave up on pressing him further. Many things here just didn't sit right with me. I nearly told him it wasn't too late, and that he could still turn his life around if he tried. However, part of me believed he was right. Others pushed their feelings and ideals onto him. He'd been doing his best to live up to their expectations, and that drained him. As a heavy silence descended upon us, every breath he took seemed to be implying exactly that. Took a long, deep breath. Morishika Haruki, no doubt anticipating a second round, quickly got back up. His reaction made me chuckle. I shook my head and looked up at the dark gray sky stretching above us. When's your birthday? I forgot that too. No, you didn't. It's in the spring. Spring? Is that why you're called Haruki? I mean, with Haru meaning spring and all. Yeah. His listless response made me smile. Haruki, born in spring. He looked at me in confusion. It's Natsumi in summer, I'm guessing that makes you a summer-born Natsumi, huh? Oh no, I was actually born during winter. Natsumi born in winter. It's me. The winter-born Natsumi waiting for the day he would see summer. I heaved a sigh. The cold had already vanished. I can't wait for spring to arrive. You should celebrate your birthday when it does. Let's buy a cake and eat it with the others. I'm sure it'll be fun. You can get one now, you know. Huh? You said you were born in winter, so why not buy a cake now? I guess that would make sense. Still, I'd like you to live way past 30. You still on that? You see, I have a little dream. To reach my 40s with my friends and go mountain climbing on a day off. I want to make sure it comes true. Whatever, dude. Cut the inside of my mouth. My birthday, huh? Right, it was in the spring, wasn't it? Haruki? What? Do you really think you have what it takes to understand others? Do you truly believe you can escape your loneliness? Shut up. Don't get your hopes up. When you open your heart, your deepest, most vulnerable part will quickly be betrayed. Just shut the hell up already. I'm sick of listening to you. Morishika Haruki seemed to have given up on me after the day we fought. I'd given up on him too. The distance between us was neither great nor short, which seemed to suit us well. He was still smoking his cigarettes, while I was still following him around. That was all there was to it. I looked at his fingers holding the cigarette, occasionally tapping off the ash. They were white and bony. The silver ring was almost the most glaring feature. Oh, there was a red mark on one of them. Made me think of blood congestion. Had he lost the ring? Or perhaps he'd thrown it away because of something. That would have been strange, considering it was something he held on to long enough for it to leave a mark. What could have happened to that ring? It's time. Yeah. See ya. You too. Haruki crushed the butt of a cigarette and disappeared onto the platform. He normally used his motorbike, so why was he taking a train now? Who would he meet? And what was with that removed ring? Could it have been somehow related? I had no idea. The only thing I felt for certain was the smell of tobacco mixing with the ambient noise. It reminded me of the cigarette I'd smoked at Herzing. I'm back. I stepped in and had a look around. The room I had just graded was completely barren of warmth. Silence here somehow became grating to me. With every breath, I realized I was alone. The solitude seemed to be sinking into my heart. Marchika Haruki, I didn't want to give up on you. I wanted us to become good friends who could understand one another, but then I went and agreed with what you'd said. People could never truly relate to one another. We were all strangers, carrying our own brand of loneliness. I never felt this lonely back when I was still alive. I had my family back home, and though I didn't talk about much in school, I had accepted it as the place where I had belonged. But how was it now? I'm like a complete outsider. My voice bounced off the walls and almost made me want to cry. I was no longer a part of this world. I was a spectator whose very existence was forbidden. I didn't belong here. You call yourself lonely. Then what was I? Where did I belong? Where did I return to? Who were my friends? Where was the warmth? Where had I placed it all? It's all your fault. Couldn't stop thinking about the mark left by that ring. Even so, I'm doing my best to save him. Haruki, shut up. Relax, Haruki. Don't you fucking show yourself to me. It's okay, you're not alone. Everything will be alright. Just call me by my name. Please. Mamiya. Yes, good. I'm Mamiya. It'll always be here for you. So how exactly did it become like that? You mean Haruki? You don't know anything, huh? And do you? Well, he's a liar, that's for sure, so I wouldn't believe every word he says. I do feel sorry for him. It's enough to set off my motherly instincts and helpless woman like me. Come on, Ayaki, you're not hopeless. God, if only I fell in love with a guy like you, I'd have become so happy. Let's have a couple drinks together. Wait, Natsume, you smoke? What, you mean this? Started recently. Needed something in my mouth. I don't know anything about Marchika Haruki. I remember the gentle lad at the church. He was a little bashful, but he treated me with kindness when I was still a boy. Oh, it's you. Huh? You're the one who sings off rhythm. Yes, I was looking at the sheet again, but didn't really understand it. Are you practicing? Yes, I want to be better at singing. Aren't you diligent? And just like that, as the cross necklace dangled on his neck, he went and helped me practice. He was such a normal, commendable young man back then, so why did he end up like that? What happened to him between then and now? You could sing hymns, right? That's why you... Hey, could you teach me how to sing them too? I don't remember any. But you sang at Natsume's funeral. I forgot that too. Why are you so opposed to turning your life around? Close the distance between us. Are you this fond of being a self-destructive loner? I don't need to listen to your bullshit. You do. If you don't stop here, you'll end up getting taken by Mamiya. I grabbed him by his clothes as though keep him bound. Let me go. Don't pretend like it's easier to live alone, or that you just want to avoid getting chained down. I said let me go. You're just incapable of loving others. At that moment, he bent forward. He seemed to reach for his boots, but then suddenly a knife appeared between his fingers. How long had it been there? The blade shone like a midwinter moon. Its faint glimmer made me gasp. Ugh. kill you. I know you can't do that. Just leave me the hell alone. Charged at me, but was so full of openings I could make him drop the knife by simply landing a chop in his wrist. Before he could pick the knife back up, I kicked it aside. I slid it far away with a metallic hiss. You son of a... Not giving him a chance to get up, I stepped on his hand. Get the hell off me. I stepped harder. He moaned and eventually gave up on struggling. You're just running away. From me, from others, even from yourself. You're only doing it because you're scared of being hurt. I wanted to understand you and tried to think the way you do. But I felt like I was about to be consumed by your loneliness. I nearly vomited from the welling anxiety within me. Why would you choose to be in such a dark place? Get your foot off me. Why aren't you seeking warmth? Get it off. What happened in your past to make you like this? A thin layer of snow was melting. The crescent knife on the open asphalt was losing its glimmer. Even so, I believe in you. Ha. I'm serious. I took my foot off his hand and picked up the knife. Morishika Haruki, I believe you can love me. I held the knife in reverse. I believe it with all my heart, and forced it into my own abdomen. Beautiful light was leaking in through a foggy window. Morishika Haruki squinted as the light fell upon him. His side profile carried a certain sinfulness, like kissing thorns under a divine light. My groan made Morishika Haruki stop reading. What is this place? An abandoned building. No one's using it, so it's where I spend some of my nights. I see. For a second, I thought I was in heaven. Don't be ridiculous. It was indeed an abandoned building. Looked like it could collapse at any minute, which I admittedly found a little scary. However, that very unpredictability felt like a representation of Morishika Haruki itself. Thanks. Huh? You fixed my stomach. Yeah. Did you think I would die? Stop talking, damn it. I should have just left you there. I'm glad you didn't. I was right to believe in you. I'm pretty tough, but it was still a huge gamble. Man, you're a piece of work. As I'd expected, the wound itself wasn't that bad, and a bit of sleep was enough to put me back in good health. Boy, am I hungry. Morishika Haruki looked at me as if he couldn't believe what I had just said. I grinned back at him in response. Sorry, unlike you, I'm pretty stubborn. The leather sofa was full of overused springs. It couldn't take that much of an impact, and the toughness made me grimace. Morishika Haruki was lying on the sofa as if he was used to it. He was also smoking as if to rest his soul. Smoke filled the dark room. The only thing to break the silence was the droning sound of some boring program on the radio. What were the hosts saying? I didn't even care, but I couldn't be bothered to turn it off. Shiny flakes of dust floated around the room. The way they sluggishly drifted through the air made it look like they were tired. The sense of fatigue here made me feel comfort unlike I'd felt before. Gonna drink? He gave me some canned soda. Took it and promptly cracked it open. The can made a pleasant sounding pop before releasing the carbonated drink. Stopping its flow with my lips, I began hastily drinking it up. The particular atmosphere of this abandoned building, it being wintertime, and the cold cola combined to hit me with like few things could. Once I finished my first sip, I looked to the side for no reason at all. There I saw the face of a talented, beautiful young man. Was the future bright or clouded in darkness? It no longer mattered to me. All that mattered now was the present. As long as I enjoyed the present, I felt like I didn't need to worry about anything. This must have been what Morishika Haruki had learned long ago. He stopped that, played around, drank some cola, and collapsed on the tough plain sofa. There was no need for words. I brought my face close and smiled. Only we could hear each other's laughter. Blood from my stomach, his ever-coughing respiratory system. None of it mattered to me anymore. We were in a place where we could afford not to care about such things. We just had to spend the day having fun. It was fine if the future was bleak. Come what may, it was okay. There was only one thing we wished for. We wanted the taste of cola. Woke up shivering in the cold. Checked the time to see that it was 6 in the morning, the coldest time of the day. Marchika Haruki crawled up from the floor and looked at the sofa. Marchika Haruki was sleeping peacefully. Sleeping face. Careful not to wake him up, I touched his hair. It's my first time seeing it. I saw his eyelids quiver. Is it just me, or have you been smelling tobacco as of late? Oh, really? Wait, do you actually smoke? It's just secondary smoke. Stop lying, you dumbass. You're actually right, Tojo. Guy started smoking recently, so feel free to be disillusioned with him. Hey, don't say that. Huh. Besides, I'm not an advocate or anything. I only smoke every now and then, but not all the time. Oh, you're enjoying it in moderation. So mature. Sorry. Wait, hold up a sec. That's not how you reacted to my smoking. Jesus, don't force yourself to smoke if you can't handle it. You're worried about me? No. God damn it, I said I'm not worried. Now stop smoking. Can't believe you're the one saying that now. Now I understood. The only way to keep Marchika Haruki in check was to hurt myself. Oh boy. We were in church. This place he hadn't visited no matter how many times we'd met up. His expression combined with the way he was sitting in the position of his hands made it seem like he was praying. You can't smoke here. What are you, a priest? Well, I guess you're much like one. The warm evening fell over the church. The divinity of its glow made me feel as though this place was closer to heaven than any other. Marchika Haruki looked at me like I was dazzling. That faint hint of sorrow in his eyes nearly made me gasp. You always used to sit over there. I remember thinking there was a certain desperation in the way you prayed. What are you talking about? Nothing. Forget I said anything. Marchika Haruki, let me grant you a miracle. To me? Who else? You're no god. It's true, I'm no god. But I can at least pray for your good fortune. And that's supposed to be a miracle? Well, I'm pretty lucky if I do say so myself. Seriously, you gotta be kidding me. That's so not the impression I'm getting from you. But I did meet you. What's that if not a miracle? You're embarrassing. I guess I am, sorry. Pouting his lips, Marchika Haruki fell silent. You probably won't find it easy to believe in miracles. But if you take a slightly better look, and find it in yourself to believe that you can cause miracles, I'll give you my protection. If I can believe in myself. Lord Chica reached into his coat pocket and took out a silver cross necklace, brought it to his lips, and took a deep breath. At times he closed his eyes, occasionally opened. At times his eyes occasionally opened. At others, he closed them so tight it seemed almost like he was grimacing. Some time passed. When he finally opened his eyes, they looked right at me. I'm ready to believe. I believe in the shitty world and whatever god there is. I'll believe in miracles I missed out on. In you and myself, so please, grant me a miracle. Thanks. Thank you, Marchika Haruki. Don't worry, it'll be okay. Lead you to happiness no matter what. Hey, you okay? Yeah, it's nothing to... Marchika Haruki started rubbing his back as he crouched down. I need to find you a doctor. Pipe down, this ain't no big... Shut up and grab my shoulder. Come on, cheer up already. No one asked you to take me here. Good thing the zoo had a medical office, huh? Don't make a big deal out of it. See what I mean? They let you use this place, so get some rest before leaving, okay? Did he fall asleep? He must have been really exhausted. Suddenly a gust of wind blew through the slightly opened window, as the thin curtains danced in the air. They revealed a girl. Hello. You, Mamiya. Shh. My finger on my lips, forcing me to silence. Don't make noise, you wouldn't want to wake him. Why did you show yourself to me? Well, I wanted to see what kind of person you were. Or you could say that I came to eliminate the pesky virus that's so insistent on saving Haruki. The smell of antiseptic made my body feel heavy. So I'm the virus here now? You're the one leading Marachika Haruki towards certain death. Make no mistake. It is not my intention to make him suffer. If anything, you're the one forcing him to live when he himself has given up. You're forcefully extending his life. Do you think he wants the life of being hooked up to tubes? Do you really think that this world is superior to the trichilocosm? You don't even know his pain. I'm gonna save over my... Let's save here. Actually, no, I'll just save a new save right here. Don't say something so cruel. Don't say something so cruel. Oh, is it though? Her acting so nonchalant made me grind my teeth. What about you? Do you even realize how hard he's trying to live? There are problems that make his life a burden, yet he does his best to reach a compromise with this world. Can't you see it? Are you really going to render his struggles meaningless? There's something wrong with a world where one has to struggle. That's... I don't really want him to struggle. After all, he's already done more than enough. Even so, if he dies, it's all over. That boy is very good at bringing himself closer to death. Are you going to deny him his way of life? I will live the way he does. I will live the way he does. The way he does? You have no flesh and look like a child. It's something you can't do. Please don't say that he's very good at bringing himself closer to death. He may live his life moment to moment, but that's exactly why he values it. So what will you do? Do tell me, Haruki's friend. What exactly will you do? Take your place. It will take your place. You don't even have a body. I can easily replace you and become someone who understands him. She sounded a high-pitched laugh. Felt like I was listening to a broken toy. You are welcome to try. A strong breeze made me close my eyes. Feel the light shining over my eyelids, and when I opened them, Morishika Haruki was nowhere in sight. Morishika Haruki. Haruki, I'm not sure. He didn't come to me. I see, thank you. Where are you? I spent all day running around Shinjuku, and by the time I found him, it was well into the morning hours. The early morning sun seemed to burn my eyes. I looked down at him, barely breathing. He was like a tattered piece of cloth. Don't you have anything to say? Get me a cig. Just give me a cig. Took a cigarette and a lighter out of my pocket. And smoked it myself. Hey, it had begun to snow. The first light of morning illuminated us both. The snowflakes danced in the wind, taking the scent of tobacco with them. Hey, stop fucking smoking. Doesn't suit you, damn it. And whose fault do you think that is? Huh? You. You're the one who got me into it. The smoke stunned my eyes. The morning light shone cruelly over Morishika Haruki's emotionless face. It's all your fault. Are you an idiot? I already know what goes on in your head. Don't try to disappear just to avoid feeling loss. You know how painful it is. So why do you force it onto others? I mean, There was a plastic bag next to him. It was odd, he really had things with him. Had he actually bought something? What's this? Open the plastic box in the bag. There's a messy mix of fresh cream and something sponge-like inside. What's this? A cake. I was puzzled. This was so unlike him. You're trying to quit smoking by switching over to sweets? It's for your birthday, dumbass. His words shocked me like nothing else. He remembered it? You should look after yourself, too. I was at a loss for words. Before I knew it, it had become dark, and enough snow had fallen for Tokyo to be blanketed in white. We lied on the fresh snow. The two of us were parallel with the sunlit road. We could see the moon and skies above. We had no idea when a car would come, but we just lied and silently breathed. By doing so, we felt like we became one with the air, and our worries were dispersed. Sing something for me. Huh? You know, like a birthday song. Screw you. Oh, okay then. I began singing it to myself. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear me. How about you sing instead of laughing? Nah. Snow fell on our faces. They were like stars. Silence. The traffic light was shining orange. The snow took the light, reflecting it. It was winter, but the surroundings were now covered by a warm color. My vision turned blurry from tears, making it seem like the city lights were sparklers. Happy birthday, Natsumi. Happiness. You and me. We both just wanted happiness. Oh, man, this cig tastes like shit. Didn't matter if I was basically like walking garbage. Just wanted to sleep. In the stagnant air, free of any kind of thrill. Didn't care if this turned me to dust. Didn't care if I couldn't get up. Just wanted to sleep without the fear of death. I may not know where your happiness lies, but I don't mind if it's not with me. As long as you find peace and sleep well enough to hear the choirs of angels. Even if you don't need me, please let me wish you good night. Tokyo, during the year in which the world was prophesied to end. The fourth Friday of the final month of the year. Natsumi's memorial mass ended, and the participants went to his grave. Morchika Haruki was standing against the wall in front of the church, listlessly looking up at the sky. Hi. Did you pick an item? Wouldn't be in this goddamn place if I didn't. I guess that's true. The memorial mass, huh? Didn't think I'd ever meet him again. He had the sigh of relief knowing that this enigmatic young man who drifted from place to place like smoke seemed to have finally set his feet firm on the ground. Let's just go. Yeah, let's go visit Natsumi's grave. The public cemetery was in an open area some distance away from the church. Various graves were lined up in a clouded area sprinkled in green. We stepped in front of one. It was just like all the others, lacking any distinguishing features. It belonged to Natsumi Soichiro, in other words, me. A strong gust of wind blew past us. Even so, Morchika Haruki walked to the grave with a steadfast pace, looking firm and resolute. What he'd chosen to give Natsumi was a cross necklace. The cross necklace. Yeah, I don't need it anymore. But why? Don't get me wrong, I'm not being pessimistic. There ain't no God. I knew that all along, and felt it repeatedly in the hospital bed. Even still, I just couldn't bring myself to get rid of this thing. I needed something to cling to, but I no longer do. It's my turn to give someone happiness. Morchika Haruki grasped the necklace tight before finally placing it in Natsumi's coffin. So does that mean that... Shut up, we're done here, let's go. Wait. Seemingly embarrassed, Morchika Haruki quickly walked away. His positive thoughts made me so happy it almost hurt. Yeah. From now on, you'll live the rest of your life making plenty of other people happy. I'm sure he'll be glad. We looked back at Natsumi's coffin one last time before raising our faces and walking away. Let's go, Morchika Haruki. I could tell you not to follow me around, but you'll come along anyway, won't you? You know me too well. Wanna go grab a drink? As long as you pay for it. Sure, but only if you beat me at billiards. Heh, bring it on. I had no idea what awaited us beyond the end of this story. However, don't worry. I'm sure you'll draw upon a wonderful world. I believe in you. Come on, hurry up. You won't have time to practice. You didn't let me practice at all when we played darts. Shut up, let's just go. Good grief. Let us go then, and find out what awaits us beyond that light. Only one route left to go. Okay. Let's see if anyone's available for a raid. Looks like Maisie is on. We will go ahead and raid into Maisie's stream once I get it loaded up on my phone. In full disclosure, hi, I'm Wrath. I'm the person who was voicing Marachiko Haruki throughout the most of this. So yeah. The Kira borrowed our voice and we just took over, so. Alright.
In her tab. I'm back at. Okay, we got. Fucking account. But yeah, I was gonna say hi. I hope you enjoyed these brands. Hi, my name's Maisie Lynn. I care a lot about making sure that people are loved, respected, and treated well. I get angry when people aren't, and I don't tolerate BS. If Orin stole Gale, I would fucking give in to the dark.
My Gale got stolen.
I tried.